of modern music.
I make no promises.
One kiss is all it takes.
If a girl touch me, me nah say me nah
What
be
you
that.
tell when you are buying you, be more careful, do you can find
I like it hot.
Stay connected all day, every day. WhatsApp us anytime. 727-4474. The Wave, 94.5 and 93.7 FM. The home of modern music.
Get your praise from someone else.
I make no promises.
One kiss.
Balance would be okay. All right, I'm being schooled today. All right, so when we go off, you'll tell me your age.
Maybe. I'm being like Elmo. Well, Alden as of last week.
He's
So
14.
All right, so somebody's
Desray, you send me out to that test. Desray.
Thank you for that, yes. Someone is asking, how do you send in nomination? So I know that nomination forms are available
At Ministry of Youth and Sports, from youth leaders, youth ambassadors, and the National Youth Council office. And then you have to be 15 to 35, which is the age for nomination, and then you have to send it in before Friday, 29th March. It includes that self-nomination is not allowed.
Okay, so somebody has to nominate
You, right. And then on the nomination form, I think you have two. I think I should have one in my bag now.
there.
You have two.
I actually have the guidelines. So there are a number of categories. You need two people to actually
Oh, I have it with me now.
yeah.
I
Okay,
have the
so go
form
ahead.
with me. And then we have first on the front of the paper, we have the categories, the instructions, where you have to nominate an individual and then you have to send it in and whatnot. And then they have the considerations for awards.
But
There
you're
is-
not answering the question, Alan. So how do you nominate? So
Oh,
you get
sorry.
the form.
You get the form and then you go to the back of the paper and then you have the nominee's name. You have the organization company. You put in the address, the phone number, the email, the birth date, and the age of the last birthday. Then you have two referees. That's like references. So you're going to put the referee's name and your telephone number. And the nominee's contribution. So that's the part where you must have the person who's your nominator must have a backup about you. So for example, if Desray is going, well, when she went up for outstanding student leader, based on her category, her backup had to deal with how she's an outstanding student leader in
So
school.
you have to justify your nomination.
Yes, and so
basically.
the nominees contribution, what has the nominees achievement for the year? So it's for the previous year, it's for 2018. How has the nominees initiatives impacted the youth or the community? Or how has the nominees initiatives made a change or difference for young people in the community? And then the nominee has supporting documents, attached evidence of nominee's contribution. And then there is the solemn nomination where I, blah, blah, solemnly swear that the information attached is truthful and represents the work of the individual or group for the year in review 2018. And then they put in the date, the phone, the email, and it's sent before the deadline.
Okay, now if you are looking for online nomination forms, you can go to Facebook, Youth and Sports St. Lucia, get your nomination form there. And the nomination form actually has all the instructions as to how it should be filled out. And it can also be emailed to NTAYLIAM@gmail.com. So that's
Talium, I see there, yeah.
ntalium@gmail.com. All right, so go on to Youth and Sports St. Lucia, get the nomination form, and you should have also detailed instructions as to how someone can be nominated in the various categories as well. You're locked into Youth Canvas right here on the Wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. We're here with Desray, Daisy, Adams Plant, and you need to keep it locked on. The Wave 94.5, 93.7 FM. Locked on to the Wave inside of Youth Canvas. I'm here with my guest co-host. Desiree Plant. Desiree Daisy. Desiree Daisy is here with us, as well as Alan's Plant. Let me tell you this, I don't want that for you in any life. In any
That's touch you on a
lifetime, my
spiritual
love.
level.
Any lifetime, I don't want such trouble for you. I apologize for making that mistake. Yeah, so we were talking about youth, but we know that there are a number of activities that are already set on the calendar, and just to go through very briefly with some of the activities to remind people, encourage people, because we are all in our journey of future. Since we're celebrating independence throughout the year, and we want that to actually last, and we're actually trying to do that. we want to ensure that many people are included into Youth Month activities, right?
Yes.
So we were talking about some of the activities, and we mentioned Youth Expose as well as nominations being open for
Youth Awards.
Youth Awards. In addition to that, one I think that has been a staple on the Youth Month calendar, but it had a little hiatus, was Camp Kalinago. Yes, that's back again, and I'm a little excited about that because I've always been too young. I've always been too young to go to Camp Kalinago. And when I could have gone, that's when I was like I was removed from the whole scene. So I've never actually gotten an opportunity to go. So I'm excited about that. It's one of the things that I'm excited about this month.
I think Desray might most likely be going. I'm expecting her to be going.
Is you too young for that too?
No, it's not that I'm too young, because LSC has an exception.
Okay.
That since we are students and whatnot, and it's about the leadership training and then public relations and financial things and whatnot. But I think for me, to go at the base of the Peter and stay there for 3 nights, no Wi-Fi, you don't even know if they have signal.
That's
signal.
Really
Like, how will I be in contact with my mother, who's all the way up in Castries? I'm all the way at the base of the Peter.
That is really what
I'm trying to make up an excuse.
About.
Okay?
That is really what you're concerned about,
and
Alan.
then there is no Wi-Fi, and probably there's maybe no signal.
You realize that's the second time that he says there's no Wi-Fi.
I mean, I always have to be in touch, the
with whom?
the diaspora, my family, my
what
friends.
are you, a politician?
Of
You have
course.
to be in touch with the diaspora.
Of course. So like
I'm dead.
wow. And now from what I've heard, the planners of the camp and who takes charge of the camp, it will be strictly Kalinago. So no phones will be allowed and these things and whatnot.
Let's finish with that.
Yeah. So it's a word. I can't do it.
Let's finish with that one. The speech festival is one I think is really interesting. I've not heard of it being done before.
Yeah, it runs from April 1st to the 4th.
And you have up until March 20th to actually register for that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Financial Center, is it free? I think so.
I think it is.
It's a free
most
event.
likely. Yeah.
So to be a part of that one, you could call 468-5403. 468-5403 to register from the 1st to the 4th of April. You guys looking to be a part of that one?
Well, we're looking to have different schools take part in that one.
Okay.
It's just on our behalf.
Okay, so it's schools and organizations.
Yes.
Okay, nice. And it's poetry, public speaking, debate, workshop.
Yeah.
But that sounds so good.
I mean, and I
want to
love
be a part of that
debating. I
too.
want to go so much because I love public speaking and debating. So.
And this one is a good segue to our next topic. There's going to be a gender equality speak-off. Women take your place. That one sounds nice. Speaking of it, we know that yesterday was international. I don't know what just happened. Yesterday was International
I think the
Women's
sun.
Day. Oh. You see these balloons? Yesterday was International Women's Day, and I know that Des, as a young woman, I should have started by greeting you by saying happy post International Women's Day to
Thank you so much. And greetings to you as well.
Thank you, Myla. Don't feel left out.
I am feeling that. I'm just seated there watching the women greet each other. That's what I'm saying in my mind. I can't wait for November for people to start telling me Happy International Men's Day. But people won't tell me that because
of a big day compared to international.
I think so. Yeah, I think so too.
Don't even start that. Don't even start that argument there. But to me, you have to be a man to be said like 16 at least.
Exactly.
Okay, let's leave
I'm
Alex
man
alone.
and I know I'm man.
Let's leave Alan alone. I agree with you, Alan. So Des, what did you think about that? I know that the theme was really interesting this year, and they were actually asking for. I know that the Ministry of Gender Relations released a press release talking about the inclusion of women in the workplace and in the inclusion of women in society. What's your take on it all?
Actually, I feel like yesterday was a really beautiful day in the sense that a lot of different activities for young women alike occurred in many different places. Like St. Joseph's Convent hosted a fair for independent young women. Even different persons like young ladies who just sell cupcakes were able to set up booths all around the school.
Oh, nice.
You were able to visit the booths. It was very beautiful. I also attended a function, the Bloom Rose function at the Bank of St.Lucia yesterday, which was an entire day function where different speakers came to speak to us. We had different activities with different young ladies around the island from different secondary schools and the St. Lucia Community College. And I just feel like it was a very celebrated day, and it's empowering women. When you speak about International Women's Day, all women get excited, all women get that chance of the spotlight, that fame, and you recognize all the young ladies and upcoming empowering young ladies who are going to be doing such great things in the future. So it's a really beautiful day in my honest opinion.
Nice. I like that. I swear I feel so inspired when I speak to you, and you as well, Alan. Y'all make me feel like there's hope.
There is.
There's hope. That's nice. You're locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM inside of Youth Canvas, and we're chatting with Alan and Des. But we are expecting Jhai to come through. Tell us a little bit about Jhai, because I know that she's also a young lady who's also very involved and very...
Jhai Auguste, she's actually one of my closest friends. I met her when we were in Form 1 and we went to school together. She's an activist, I would say. She gets involved in a lot of different things outside of school. She was the president of the Key Club at St. Joseph's Convent. She was a very active helper. She was a peer helper. And last year, she was selected to be the youth ambassador of St. Lucia at a program held in Washington, D.C. and different states overseas, where she has a project now of taking what she learns there and implementing it back into St. Lucia. So she had things like she organized a talk at the St. Lucia Community College for the young people with a lady, I'm not too sure of her name right now. And she also organized the function that I went to yesterday at the Bank of St. Lucia. Yeah.
Nice. So we get an opportunity to chat with Jhai and see all the great things that she does. So you need to keep it locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 inside of Youth Canvas. Hey, thank you for staying with us. The wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. We're inside of Youth Canvas that happens from 9 to 10 right here on your hit station. And with us this morning, we have Desray Daisy. She is the president. Yes? Yes. She is the president of the National Students Council. We have Alan's Plant with us, PRO of the National Students Council, and they're guest hosting with, and you will see a lot of Des and Alan's, by the way, or here rather, a lot of Des and Alan's. And joining us, we have Jhai Auguste. The Jhai is here with us. So let me just send some love your way to you, Jhai. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Happy Post Women's International Day. And it's a pleasure to have you here with us this Saturday. So how's your Saturday going? How's your weekend?
My Saturday has been going well. I'm a bit tired, but everything is okay.
Yeah. We have an extended... Does that apply to you as well, Des and Jhai?
Vacation on Monday?
Yes. The extended weekend.
I think it does.
I think so.
Yes.
Although it's at secondary school, so we're not
We're not too sure, but we're just hoping for the best.
Your lecture is not unionized. All right, so yes, fingers crossed that the extended vacation is extended to you all as well. Alan's is
fingers
already,
crossed.
But Alan's, you're rude. You know that you have it for sure.
Well, I know I have it, but fingers crossed. We supposed to like school. We're not supposed. We not.
Yes, I agree. You're supposed to. I don't know who tell you you're supposed to like school. You're supposed to go to school and you're supposed to do well at school.
They have certain things of the school you may not like, but you have to like the school.
All right, Alex. So you have to like school, but I like work. I wouldn't, if my boss says I'm gonna take the day off, I'd be happy. I like work.
I think everybody just likes the extended vacation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jhai.
I mean, I wish I had more, but
You try and be devil's advocate over there in the corner here. But Jhai is here first. Jhai Auguste. That's a very interesting name. Can I ask what it means?
Well, my name is actually my father's initials with an H. So, Jhai.
But he was how he was a Jhai. So he gave you his initials and he just added an H?
An H, yeah.
So the H was just
to make it cute.
Let's just add an H in there.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's nice. I like that.
creative.
It's creative. Jhai. And it sounds like it has this. If I were you, I would come up with a story, a very interesting story. Well, you see, Jhai was this, princess
Empress,
from
Empress of Ethiopia.
Liberated thousands of people.
I think that's true. I should probably come up with a story.
Come up
The rise of the phoenix, something like that.
You should come up with a story, and and then you say, "Oh, it's actually also my father's initials with an added H." You should work on that, boo. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We know Des started giving us a bit of background as to the work that you do, and she did a great job in introducing you.
Thank you, Des.
She said nice things only. She says nice things only. So tell us a little bit about your background, what you do, and who you are as a person.
Okay, well, last year...
Take the mic. Don't be afraid to take the mic from this.
Last year, I was chosen as the 2018 Youth Ambassador for St.Lucia to the U.S. Embassy. And I've been doing work for gender equality since I came back from the 3-week program that I was on. So I've been holding workshops I did one at St. Joseph's Convent, one at St. Louis Community College, and I did one yesterday with the Bank of St. Lucia. So we had a women's empowerment workshop with 30 girls from different secondary schools and from St. Louis Community College.
Tell us a little bit about the experience and what it was like for you. In 2018, so the experience, what you went through, some of the
So it started off as I started out I did an application. So I was called in for an interview. So I did a Skype interview, and then I was chosen, and we went on a 3-week program to the United States. We went to Vermont. Then we were in Seattle. Well, I was in Seattle, but there were other groups in Oklahoma and Alabama, and then we all met again in Washington, D.C. Okay. So it was people from throughout the Caribbean youth, and it was a really good experience.
Yeah, it was. That's good to hear. And is there any training that you went through? How did they impact information onto you?
Well, we had different sessions. So we did sessions on anti-bullying, on gender equality, on gentrification. It was, we were all on a campus. So it was from morning to night. We were always in a class doing an activity. We volunteered. It was,
So being in Washington, D.C., you went to the White House?
We were outside the White House.
Okay.
That was you had to ask, eh? The important thing you had to know. Okay, nice. And so now the information that you gathered in 2018 as being a part of the program, you're now mandated, or maybe not mandated, but you are expected to share that information and to impart it on fellow youth. Yeah, and you've been doing that through a series of workshops.
Well, actually, one of the conditions of being chosen was that when you come back to your island, we had to carry out a social action plan. So I just chose gender inequality as my issue to face, and so I thought to go about doing it by doing awareness workshops and eventually an empowerment workshop for women.
Nice. And why gender inequality? Why was that your topic?
It's just something that I've always been very passionate about. Well, for the past few years, seeing it in our country, and it's something that I would like to say that I've contributed to decreasing.
Nice. So we know that you've been holding workshops. Des was just telling us how interesting the workshop at BOSL was. And so if we want to, if I want to pop in at a workshop, right? When's the next one? Do you know? Have you planned it?
Not yet. I haven't started planning the next one yet. I think that we were just focusing on the one for International Women's Day, but as soon as there's another one, I'll let you know.
All right, so I could be a part of that, right?
Yes.
I could get it on the action. Great. Alan's, I know I've been speaking a lot and I have not heard anything from you. Good?
Well, I mean, I think that, especially for International Women's Day, that women are very precious, well, to me. So I think that women should be honored every day. But I guess, in the world, they set aside one day to strictly recognize women, and I think that now I recognize women with splendor, with just that.
Y'all need some water because he gets sweet.
that authority, because you would walk into a business now, and then you'd hear the manager is a woman. You'd walk now and you hear the supervisor is a woman. And I guess one day, sooner or later, St.Lucia will have a first female prime minister. I mean, we had our first female governor general. We had Heraldine Rock some years, way in the 19, who was the first female government minister and thing and whatnot. So I think that over the years, women together, they come as one and they just keep on growing and building, which is really good because the women are fundamental source in our society.
You're not just saying all of that because you don't want to get in trouble this morning. I mean, there's a 2-1 ratio in here today, so you're trying to get yourself out of trouble.
Oh no, I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart.
All right, I like to hear that.
Yeah.
I like to hear that, and I think that Jhai, in your next workshop, you need to invite Alan's, and you need to. Alan needs to say just say that to his male peers. So have a male version so they understand.
And it's actually true, because you'd walk places now and then I have a problem with catcalling because I don't want my mother to be catcalled. I don't want my sisters.
Catcall people.
I don't catcall. Not at all. I would not. No, people may think that, but in my opinion, it's disrespectful. Especially when I watch sometimes the fellas, when the women don't answer them, they send derogatory remarks to the lady, which is really, really disrespectful.
As a young man, Alan's, because I get it all the time, and I'm sure that there's Jhai, that you get it as well. And I've developed a way of dealing with catcalling, but my way, and I will say with no water in my mouth, is not the most appropriate way to do it. But in my head, and the way that I've processed it is, if you could open your mouth, I think it's okay to say or direct things to me. It's okay for me to open my mouth and direct things.
Because she should not have a problem with directing words back to you.
Oh, you think it's okay to do that? All right. So let me tell you what I think.
I feel that it's just disrespectful, and women should not be disrespected at all.
But what do you think is the right way for us as young women to deal with that? So your peers, I know that you're among young males all the time, and they would
then they would say, "Oh, that thing," and that's. I think for the young women, how to acknowledge. Well, I think
ignoring.
We're not just saying ignoring, but being mature. Like you said, you would, just let that fly sometimes. I mean, it's disrespectful. Yeah, it's disrespectful, and inside it can break down somebody's self-esteem and thing. But I think maturity plays a big role there, especially ignoring, because I mean, a small and no answer turn if any wrath. So I don't think we'd want to go there to, you know, build on that, you know, that kind of controversy or something. So I'll just let it pass away and thing and whatnot. But if anybody cat calls my sister or something, tell me now
And can I also say that catcalling it really has major effects in, like, when women are catcalled. Sometimes the next day, when getting dressed, you don't want to wear a certain clothes
it
or
makes you
something like
feel
that.
like not yourself.
It has serious effects in terms of your mental perception of yourself, etc. So,
how do you deal with it, Jhai?
How do I deal with it?
Yeah, somebody go, hey, nice girl. Hey, nice girl. Come, let me tell you something.
I think it kind of just depends on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in the mood to ignore, I would just ignore. I might laugh. I mean, you can't really, if you take these things too seriously in the moment, you might just end up in a worse situation.
Yeah.
And it's something that needs to be stopped. So I mean, sometimes I would answer too, but
nice. Des?
For me also, I feel like it depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm very good at ignoring them. I'm very good at playing like I never heard them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll just turn around and make that face, and then
And they understand.
Yeah, they understand.
Now there's with the position. Your positioning. I would just go, do you know who my dad is?
I was just thinking in my mind. God, yeah, I don't want Mr. Daisy to be walking in there because Lord knows, Lord alone knows what's gonna happen. I was just thinking that in my mind, you know, Desray. Like, she just spoke my mind.
I would say, excuse me, do you know who my dad is? And they would be like, they would probably be confused, and they would probably say, look it up, right? just look it up. That is all. Keep it locked on here, the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. When we return, fun facts.
Yeah.
Now, Jhai, the fun facts segment.
Mm-hmm.
5 questions that you absolutely must answer.
Okay.
Yes? All right. So keep it locked on here. The wave 94.5, 93.7 FM. All right. So inside of Youth Canvas on the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM. And you guys making me feel like we need like a whole new, like an entire show to talk about such things, like how to deal with catcalling, and another one, how to deal with young people. I cannot say young men because I'm sure that there are young women who do it in your DMs. Inappropriate DMs. Don't approach me in the right way in the DMs. So that shall be another show. These are ideas that we should be jotting down, right? Yes, okay, so we'll deal with that. I like it. I like it a lot. And Jhai, in the break, you made a really cool point. It's not necessarily always bad. So the way that it's done. So if you know B2B in the corner and he doesn't know he's B2B, but on a day where, you know, he feels a little brave and he says something in a nice way, we don't consider that catcalling, or do we? It's catcalling that we'll accept.
It's not. Maybe it's not catcalling. It's like how we said. It's the way that it's done.
The way that it's
catcalling
done.
is disrespectful. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, small
Shani,
fries.
let me see.
Small
How big is that?
Exactly. And I hate giving this joke, but it's always appropriate because I think it really does. It helps people understand the things that you should not do. So there's once I was out, all right, and this young man comes to me and he says, Missy, and he doesn't know my name. I know for a fact he doesn't know my name. He's never seen me before. You don't know how much I like to see a McGulla.
Now,
So that's the first thing he says. So I give him a look and I tell him, okay, so what does that have to do with me? And he says, no, I'm not saying I have a girlfriend, but why are you telling me you don't know how much I like to see a McGirl? Like, is that really?
yeah. And Humad, if you say that, I feel disgusted already. And why? Because you say Meg. Now, in our palace, you know, the Creole and our Lucian dialect and thing, when these things come out, it comes out raw. It comes out raw.
Exactly.
So, wherever the lady is and what and she, and you know, like you were saying, before the
What if I had low self-confidence?
yeah, and you was, and then you would think next day, you know, that outfit actually makes me look Meg and or slender or something, and then she'll have to go back and change. That really affects the. And I think that some males, they don't know how it affects the ladies and thing. So they just feel to do it because they don't know how the woman feels deep inside.
They cannot keep all the emotions inside.
Oh, that's what it is. They cannot control their emotions. All right, so fun facts. Y'all ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah, ready. So we're closing it off. 5 questions that you absolutely. Ooh, these deep, that you must answer. All right.
Where there?
No, these deep. What do you hope your last words will be? So if you had an opportunity to plan those last words, those final thoughts.
Desray going first, man.
What would you hope?
I think if my last words have to be before I pass away or something, I want my mother to be there, and I want to tell you, Mommy, I love you. I said it now and I want to cry, but I think, like I heard once, they always say that a child who loses both his parents is called an orphan. A wife who loses her husband is called a widow, and the widow one thing and whatnot. But a mother that loses a child doesn't have a name. And I think, especially my mother always says, like, mothers always tell me, like, they always feel, because there is that, when you lose your child, there is that thing in the womb, because it's not easy to lose a mother and it's not easy to lose a child. So,
And that's where they get you from.
I feel like, honestly, if I have to die, I want my mother to be next to me, and I want to tell her, Mommy, I love you.
Let me tell you, a child like that should not be giving any trouble, huh?
I know, right?
Where did it get you from? That's sweet, though, Alens. That's sweet. How about you, Jhai? If you could pick those last words.
I think maybe I'd want to say, I really don't know, maybe thank you to everybody that helped me in my life. I don't know.
All right. So you just say thanks.
Thanks, yeah.
All right. Nice.
I
And
feel like I would want to say I did
take
it
the mic,
all.
Bo.
Yeah.
Take the mic.
I feel like I'd want to say I did it all.
So you're going to just, I did it all, y'all.
did it all.
I did it, y'all.
I want to be happy with what I did in my life.
I was
Alright.
here.
I was here. I like that.
Yeah.
I was here. Okay, that's nice. Okay, next one. 3 interesting facts about you. Go. Jhai, starts with you.
Okay.
In fact, let's start with Des, because Des has this down. Let me tell you, Des has those fun facts down.
Okay, I won a pageant when I was in grade 6.
Nice. What pageant?
Miss DPLPS. It's an annual pageant. So I went and passed the crown on all kinds of things like that.
DPLPS?
Miss Dame Paulette Louise.
Ah, nice. Okay.
I'm also, I have the skill of tap dancing. I tap danced for 7 years before.
Sweet. The shoes and all?
Yes, the shoes and all. Performances, solos, all these things. And I also have the capabilities to do ballet dancing on point shoes and all. Yes.
Let me tell you, to sharpen those moves just before Vava links, I need to check you. I need to check you, Des. Alan, go.
I think 3 facts about me. I think the number one, and I think Desir would be 100% sure, is I love food. I love food.
Social thing.
I'm always hungry. Yes, I love food. I love debating, public speaking, economics, law. That's my field. And I love soca. There is nothing in the world that would come before a music genre than my soca music. Yeah.
The feta. Although you're not old enough to fet, yes?
And for me,
yes.
one of the major fun facts about me is that I've eaten alligator.
Oh! No, that sounds like, I envy you. That sounds like an experience. How was that?
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't?
No, it didn't taste too good. It wasn't the best.
Okay.
I did it. I am a very passionate feminist.
Okay.
So I advocate for women.
But you don't hate on men.
No.
You're a feminist, but you're not a man
Advocate
hater.
for equal opportunities.
All right, so you're not a Brie Larson.
No.
Okay.
No. And also, I have a little brother that I love so much.
Oh, what's his name?
Keon.
Hi, Keon. How old is Keon?
He is 11.
11. Sweet. And how old are you?
I'm gonna be 17 at the end of this month.
All right. Awesome. Okay. So next question. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned thus far?
In life?
Yes. Well, biggest lesson ever. Like in life. Lesson.
I think I've said it on in the studio before. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And in life, you cannot win all the time. When you plan out something in life, you must expect a road bump. And whenever you fall, the only way to go back is, I think I have become a motivational speaker.
I tell you.
But I think, that's not all the time you're going to get it. But you have to work for it, but not, you win, you learn.
All right. Now, here's every time that you're here with us, Alans, this is our starting youth canvas. This is motivation. Balance plan. So try and prepare 1 minute motivation thingies.
Okay,
right?
I'll try.
All right, next up, Jhai.
For me, I would say that my biggest lesson that I've learned so far is just to always stay focused on what you want and don't stop even when you think that it's not possible, because it always is possible most of the time.
Nice. I like that lesson. Des?
For me, it's never take people for granted, because one time they're here and one time they're not.
Oh, that's big.
That's deep.
That is deep. Deep. Okay, so since I know it's 5 questions, but it's 10 o'clock, so final one. If your life was a book, what would the title be?
I wanted to say Surviving Alan's Plans, because so many people have given me this joke already.
But
so I think the title of my book, it would be some kind of French name. I don't know, like a tonton, something like that. But I don't know.
Le petit talent. Le petit talent.
Le petit talent.
Le petit talent. I like that. I like that. All right, how about you, Jhai?
I think mine would be The Amazing Life of Jhai.
The Amazing Life of Jhai. I like that too. Des?
I think mine would be something about balancing your time with your school life and everything. So somewhere along those lines. I don't know the exact name yet, but I'll try to.
The Balancing Act by Desray Daisy.
Something like that.
Yeah?
That's cool. Yeah,
There we
that's
go.
cool.
I like that. Nice. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. It's that time. Oh, just to answer one question. Mine would probably be like the HD experience. The HD experience. Yeah, that's what mine would be called. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to make way for Miss Sana. She's coming through with that countdown, so you need to keep it locked on to the wave, 94.5 and 93.7 FM. This has been Youth Canvas with Alan's Plant.
Hi,
Desray,
everybody.
Daisy, Jhai, Auguste, and we hope, Jhai, that this is not the last time that we see you here with us.
Absolutely not.
Yes, it was fun, and we're inducting you into the crew. So always, if you feel like you need somewhere to chill on a Saturday, come through, boo. Come through. We're more than happy to have you. All right.
Just to let you know, it's you could always come from this month because it's wave anniversary. So I guess they'll have cake and champagne. Just chill out
If
there.
you're bringing that cake and champagne, Alan's, sure. But that would be nice. A Saturday where we chill. We'll talk about that. Alan's will provide the cakes, but we will
Sour.
I didn't give you all the opportunity. Final thoughts, real quick.
Final
People to shout out.
Well, can I go first?
maybe?
Again?
Yeah.
Well, I'm shouting out Sky from Viewfort Comprehensive Secondary School. I actually met her for the first time yesterday, and when she saw me, she was like, "Oh, hi, that's Alan and thing." And then she told me that she's been following the National Students Council, and she really admires Desray also. Yeah, but she said, she was unable to make it to the General Assembly to vote because there was, 1 or 2 little things happening down there, so they couldn't make it. But she has been following the National Students Council from time she became on her council at the school. So she's following me and everybody else on the council. So just want to shout out now.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Sky, real quick, Jhai.
I just want to say thank you for having me, and I want to shout out Mrs. Aisha Walcott Auguste.
Mommy?
Yes.
All right. Hi, Mommy. And Des?
I also want to shout out all my friends listening because now a lot of them come to listen and I'm very thankful for that.
Shaz.
We have active listeners. Yeah, Shazzy is always listening.
Jazzy!
Yeah, and I would also like to shout out my mother as well because without her, I don't know what would be possible right now.
Oh, you're so sweet. All right, my children, keep it locked on to the wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM.
St. Lucia's #1 modern music.
Get your praise from someone else.
I made no promises.
One kiss is all it takes.
If a girl touch me nah say me nah
What
be
you
that.
tell when you are buying you be more careful, do you confide in
Stay connected all day, every day. WhatsApp us anytime. 727-4474. The Wave 94.5 and 93.7 FM.